Why did my boss pay for my mom's surgery? I've been working at this tiny coffee shop called Brew Haven for 2 years now. My boss Gustavo is this grumpy 50-something guy who barely acknowledges my existence. He grunts when I clock in, disappears into his office for hours, and leaves early every single day without saying goodbye. The pay is terrible, $12 an hour, but it's the only job I could find that worked around my college schedule. Plus, Gustavo never complained when I had to miss shifts for exams or when I accidentally burned a batch of muffins my first week. Last month, everything changed when my mom called me sobbing during my lunch break. Stage 2, breast cancer. The doctor said they caught it early, which was good news, but the surgery and treatment would cost $30,000 up front. Our insurance company found every possible loophole to deny coverage. I felt like my world was crashing down. Mom raised me alone after Dad left when I was 8. She worked 2 jobs to put me through high school, never complained, never asked for help from anyone. And now when she needed me most, I was completely helpless. I started a GoFundMe page that night, sharing it everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I picked up double shifts at the coffee shop, working 60 hours a week. I even sold my beat-up Honda Civic that I'd saved for 2 years to buy. After 3 weeks, I'd only raised $3,400. The surgery was scheduled for the following Monday, and I was nowhere close to the amount needed. I was starting to panic, calling every loan company, begging relatives who barely knew us. That Friday, I was crying in the storage room during my 15-minute break. I thought I was alone, but Gustavo walked in looking for coffee filters. I quickly wiped my tears and mumbled an apology, expecting him to tell me to get back to work. Instead, he just stood there for a moment. "Your mom's sick?" he asked bluntly. I nodded, not trusting myself to speak without breaking down completely. "What's wrong with her?" I explained everything. The cancer diagnosis, the insurance denial, the impossible cost. I probably overshared, but I was desperate and exhausted. Gustavo listened without interrupting, his usual scowl softening slightly. When I finished, he pulled out his phone. "What's your GoFundMe link?" I fumbled with my phone and sent it to him, thinking maybe he'd donate $20 or $50. Every little bit helped at this point. He nodded curtly and walked out without another word. I figured that was the end of it. The next morning, Saturday, I woke up to 17 missed calls from my mom. My heart stopped. I thought something terrible had happened with her treatment. "Honey, check your GoFundMe page right now," she said, crying but laughing at the same time. I opened the app with shaking hands and nearly dropped my phone. Someone had donated the full remaining $26,600 anonymously. The goal was met. Mom could have her surgery. I ran to the coffee shop even though it was my day off. Gustavo was there early as usual, quietly restocking the pastry case. I couldn't even finish the question. He just shrugged those broad shoulders. "Don't make it weird, kid." That's when I noticed something I'd never seen before. On his cluttered desk was a framed photo, a woman with kind eyes and a gentle smile that reminded me of my mom. She had the same warm expression, the same laugh lines around her eyes. I must have been staring because Gustavo cleared his throat. "That's Linda, my wife." He paused, his voice getting quieter. "She died of breast cancer 5 years ago. Stage 3. We caught it too late." My eyes filled with tears as he continued. "Fought for 2 years. Chemo, radiation, surgery, experimental treatments. Spent our entire savings, sold the house, cashed out my 401k. Nothing worked." He picked up the photo, his tough guy facade cracking. "I couldn't save her. Gustavo, I'm so sorry." He set the photo down and looked directly at me for maybe the first time since I'd started working there. "Your mom's got a real fighter for a daughter. Linda would have liked that." He managed a small smile. I hugged him right there in the middle of the coffee shop, both of us crying. This grumpy man, who I thought barely tolerated me, had just saved my mom's life. The surgery went perfectly. Mom is cancer-free now and back to her old self, constantly asking when she can meet that wonderful boss of yours. Gustavo still grunts when I clock in and disappears into his office. But now I know why he keeps Linda's photo where he can see it every day.